While the gaming world has been overwhelmed by big announcements and new releases over the past month or so, I've been spending all of my spare moments hunched over my PC sending a bunch of tiny pixel people on varying missions. Some like to dig, others hate to cook, and one or two of them have the unfortunate habit of stress vomiting. They're called duplicants. They've mysteriously woken up in the middle of a space rock and they're relying on me to keep them alive. This is my new favourite game and it's appropriately called Oxygen Not Included. Now, if something's naggingly familiar about this game, there's a good reason for that. It's from Klei Entertainment, the indie studio that created Don't Starve, Shank and Mark of the Ninja. If you've never heard of any of those, you probably should. Klei tends to make games that are disarmingly charming on the outside but ridiculously complex behind the scenes, so it should be no real surprise that I am not necessarily doing very well at Oxygen Not Included, but that I am having an absolute blast while playing it. Let's start at the beginning, shall we? Even before you arrive on the space rock, you have to choose just who will form your starting colony. 3 duplicants are randomly generated and displayed, each one with their own skill sets and traits. Points are allocated to 9 skill sets and these can be leveled up as you play. There is a pretty standard selection on offer, with skills relating to movement, construction, cooking, digging, research, machine operation and carrying capacity, as well as resistance to disease and how well a duplicant can create art. As well as skills, each duplicant has at least 2 traits, one positive and one negative. The positive ones do what you might expect. Twinkle Toes will add 7 points to athletics, while Mole Hands adds 5 to digging. Diver's Lungs will reduce a duplicant's oxygen intake by 25%, and Iron Gut makes them immune to diarrhea from eating dodgy food. Those negative ones though. There's a Loud Sleeper who will wake everybody within 3 tiles while sleeping, giving them a debuff for the next day's work. Scaredy Cats will refuse to engage in combat with the enemies that spawn occasionally, while Noodle Arms removes 3 points from strength. There are traits relating to how often a duplicant will use the bathroom, how long they'll take while in there, and then, in a game literally called Oxygen Not Included, there is a trait that will make a duplicant consume more of the precious gas. And what I said before about how some of them will vomit when they're too tense, others are binge eaters who will consume all reachable food in the colony when they get upset. Another group are ugly criers, while the rest will go on destructive rampages if their stress levels get too high. And that is more important than you'd think, because living in a hole in an asteroid is an incredibly stressful existence. From the moment your duplicants set foot on their space rock, they are struggling to survive. Obviously, oxygen is in low supply. So is food. So are other things that are kind of essential for human life. So it's your job to find them, round them up, and generally make things as nice as possible. In the beginning, at least, that means digging. Lots and lots of digging. Also some building, some beds, a toilet, a power generator, and a battery or 2 once you have enough copper. A research station so you can start researching important things like how to build a better toilet, how to grow your own crops, and how to paint the Mona Lisa. No, I'm actually serious. Give your duplicants a beautiful place to live in and they will be happier and you will have to clean up less stress from it. And then it pretty much just goes on from there. Extra duplicants are added every few days, they breathe more oxygen and eat more food. You need to build more beds, bigger batteries, better toilets. Research more technologies to help survive on the asteroid. Dig up all the copper you can see, mine for algae, dig pits to store polluted water until you work out how to filter it using sand, learn how to turn carbon dioxide into oxygen, how to turn coal into electricity, and even how to turn dirt and water into something resembling food, even if it does make your duplicants quite sick. Oxygen Not Included is, if you hadn't figured it out, one of those games that is easy to pick up but fiendishly difficult to master. There is a ridiculous amount of internet space dedicated to discussing strategies and techniques, comparing colony layouts and debating the worst ways duplicants have succumbed to the perils of the asteroid. As I said, I'm still not very good at Oxygen Not Included, but every time I start a new colony I do a little bit better. And did I mention the game itself is not actually finished yet? You can grab it now via Steam Early Access, and trust me, it is perfectly enjoyable right now. I've never actually experienced any game-breaking bugs or crashes, and only 1 or 2 graphical hiccups. The team at Klei are still hard at work on the project with plans for updates, upgrades, and more content well into 2018, including, excitingly, a storyline, which means we'll find out why these duplicates are trapped inside an asteroid hurtling through space. Until then though, I'm going to keep digging, building, and mopping up stress vomit.